We're just gonna talk to each other. It's nothing too professional.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna open up welcoming our guests to the episodes.
Hello, guys. How you doing, man?
Hey guys, so good to have you on this episode today.
Good to see you.
Bobby, do you wanna tell our audience where the inspiration for this podcast came from?
Out of the air.
Out of the air.
Just thought about it and Caleb put us in it.
About an hour ago.
Yeah.
Bobby comes up with this idea. He calls me and he's like, "Hey, dude, you want to do a podcast?" I'm like, "Podcast?" That's the most random thing.
Yeah, what can I say? I'm pretty like this like that.
And he's like, "Let's talk about cars. Let's And I was like, "Oh, that's an interesting idea. I don't know." And then an hour later, here we are,
man.
We decided to do it.
I thought it'd be like tomorrow or next day, but I didn't know it'd be now.
Bobby felt like he got thrown on the spot.
Yeah, no doubt.
And So this is welcome to the first podcast.
Yes.
We don't know what the name is yet. We are yet to come up with the name.
Hopefully you guys can help us.
Yeah, we might need your help to come up with the name. So if you have any suggestions, please put them in the comments, and we'll be happy to look at them. Admire them, and
Maybe not.
Maybe it might become the name for the podcast.
Not too, but you never know.
Who knows? Anyways, right now we're in Bobby's, what do you call this place?
The hangar.
The hangar. What used to live in the hangar?
A helicopter. That's why they call it a hangar.
Yeah, so were they the previous owners?
Yes, the previous owners had a helicopter that he stored here.
Yep.
And he gave out rides.
Yep.
He'd push it out there and give it full throttle and piss off all the neighbors, and then go over there and pick up people and give them a ride.
Yeah, I don't know if I was a neighbor of the owner, how I would feel if he launched a helicopter next door.
It's funny because they helped him put the foundation in it. He had to put the cement trucks in their driveway.
That's awesome.
But then all of a sudden that wind came up and it changed everything.
Whose truck is this?
A friend of mine, we were restoring this truck, Johnny Lane.
What did you do on it so far?
This truck came from there was nothing there but a frame, and I had to go start putting fenders, stuff. I found a fender in the field. I found a hood over there in the field. I put them all together, man, and this is what I get so far.
That's awesome, man. It looks amazing.
First time, yeah, it's pretty cool.
All right, Bobby, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you, where you grew up, where you came from.
Okay, so I came from San Antonio, Texas. I came from Lackland. I grew up and went to MacArthur High School. We liked hot rods. My dad sold cars, and he always had the nice, fast cars. We always called the judge, and we just had a lot of fun with the cars.
That's awesome, man. Okay, I got a question for you. Let's talk about what sparked your interest in cars. Where did it first begin?
I think it was with my dad, he always sold cars, so he always had hot rods over there. And it was in the 60s, so we had a lot of different cars, and it was always fun to go try different cars because he was selling them, So I get to go there. First time I took one, I remember he heard me, we took it to get gas, and he said, "I heard you up the street there." So I was getting it on, and so of course he kind of smiled after I did it though. He knew I would do it.
Oh my goodness. So you got lucky. You got to be around some pretty cool
different
cars growing
yep.
up. That's awesome, man.
Pretty cool.
That is so cool.
We did an auction too over there until we got to drive the cars through the auction. It was kind of neat. You drove all different kind of cars in, yeah.
So did you get to drive the cars?
Yeah, I drove the cars.
What were some of your favorite cars?
The GTO, and then I like the Chevelles. My dad always said to get a small car and put a big motor in it, man. So like the Nova 2.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Okay, as a child, what was your dream car?
I'd have to say a Lamborghini Countach, something I could never reach.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say an American muscle car.
Well, I like American muscle cars the best, but you know what? Lamborghinis kind of caught my attention, the way they look and stuff. But if I had to go to a muscle car, I drove a couple of Lamborghinis when I worked at the place, but I'll probably go with the Goat. I like the Chevelle too. I kind of like the smaller body style.
Yeah.
62, 63, yeah.
Right on, dude. So, okay, tell me about the Lamborghini Countach. Where did you see one?
Yep. I always like the way the doors open up. They have scissor doors on it. And then, so I worked at a place, North American Motor Imports, where they imported gray market cars like that. And so we had a chance to drive those and the Ferrari Boxers and some of the other exotic cars. And I always kind of liked the Lamborghini.
So you got to see it in real life when you saw it for the first time?
Oh, I drove it.
You drove it?
Yeah.
I am so jealous, man. What was it like? What was it like firing it up? What was it like?
Well, it's very fun, man. But you got to watch it because you get it out of control real fast. Even though I try, that one I didn't. The ground clearance was too close. But the 930 Porsche, I tried it, and man, I got sideways really fast.
Wow. Oh. So you got to drive a lot of cool cars
Yeah,
growing
yeah,
up.
yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's crazy, dude. Okay, let's dive into another question. What was your first car?
61 Chevrolet Bel Air 4-door. Dad bought it at a car lot for $100, and the whole right side looked like somebody had hit the guardrail and drove across it. It was all messed up, you know. And so I put a loud stereo in it, and everybody always knew me for a loud stereo. And so it was just an old car that I would just run around in it. But we did some crazy things.
Okay, so what was some of the first things you had to fix on it when you got it?
I guess I had to put tires on it.
Just put tires on it?
Yeah, yeah.
But you had a big old dent on the side somewhere?
Oh, the whole right side was all. It was just when the door, like somebody drove it and hit the guardrail. And sparks everywhere.
Oh, gosh,
you know?
man.
The door's
Oh, my
open though, but
goodness.
yeah, it's pretty interesting.
So you got it for a good price.
$100, and I drove that thing for a year and a half, and I made money on that car. I sold for $5.
What kind of engine was it rocking?
No, V8.
A V8.
That's all I
Did you
only
do
get
any
to.
mods to it?
Nope. Didn't have the money to. I just drove the heck out of it.
That's crazy, dude. Okay, what did you love about your car, even if it was a clunker?
The capacity, how many people it carried?
Really? Really?
Yeah, we got quite a few in there.
How many people could, what was the max amount of people you
I
put
think
in
we
it?
just got, maybe we stopped at 10, but we got pretty good.
That's like India.
Yeah.
Like you see
And then-
those little rickshaws full of people?
We did that, man. We had guys smoking in the back seat and caught something on fire. We all had to jump out and pull the seats out because he had caught the upholstery on fire underneath there.
Wait, how did the
Smoking.
fire start?
I think he dropped a cigarette. We always had the windows down, you know, so I'm sure.
Okay, wait, so what was happening? Were you driving
Down the
somewhere
road,
with
listening to
your
music.
friend?
Everybody's in the car, come home from school.
You had
And I
10
was-
people in the car at this point?
Yeah. We had,
No way!
And we took everybody home. I took everybody home from school. They wanted to ride, and they know me. The car was nothing fancy, everybody else, but you know, we just had fun, and so yeah. And
Yeah. And on the way home, someone dropped a
see,
cigarette and something caught on fire.
something smoking. Oh, great! We got to stop and everybody jumped out and we had to see the other seat. Pulled the back seat out, come out kind of easy, and yep, sure enough, he had caught something. That ding dong. His name was Charlie too.
Charlie, if you're watching,
Yeah, remember that.
Bobby still loves you,
Yeah, man, no doubt.
even though did the whole seat burn? You pulled the
No,
seat
we
out,
pulled it out.
did the whole
It didn't
seat
catch on
burn?
fire. I mean, it just smoked. That's all.
Okay, so you got the
It's just,
fire
it's
out,
just
so-
an incident that we had fun with.
So the car survived
Yep,
another
yep.
day
Yep, yep.
since that moment. So you loved it for the capacity. I find that interesting because that's also one of the reasons I like bigger cars.
Is it?
Like I love.
Why is that?
I love Clifford. By the way, Clifford is the Pettit family's
one Suburban.
01 Suburban.
Yes,
and
yes.
it is a long, big boy, and we love Clifford. And obviously, the name Clifford is from
Big red dog.
because it's big and it's red.
And family, we went everywhere in it.
And the family went everywhere in it, and so I love that too. I kind of grew up liking big, boxy kind of SUVs.
Like what?
So there's this one called the Tata Sumo. That was one of our
What is
first.
that? Is it from China?
No, it's a Indian
Tata?
brand. Tata, Mr. Tata. He kind of revolutionized cars in India, and he mainstreamed and modernized a
Is it
lot
one
of
that made the
cars.
tractors too?
Oh no, my nose is bleeding. Oh no.
What happened?
Do you have a tissue paper?
Use that rag.
This one?
That gray one to the left.
All right.
I got towels, but that'd be better for you. Hey, we always got t-shirts around here.
Hey, we'll still continue this podcast. Though.
Oh my goodness. Now if I faint because of the blood, you know what happened.
No pain, no gain, dude. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so Mr. Tata brought one of the first cars that he brought to the market that got really popular was called the Tata Indica. In my opinion, it looks like an old computer mouse. Like, those round old aged computer
dude.
mouses?
Yeah.
That's like
Like
literally...
a teardrop kind of looking thing?
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. It looks like a
How many people could fit in that car?
10.
No way.
No, I'm just kidding.
How many doors is it? 4, 2?
It's a 4-door. It's like a hatchback. It's technically a 5-seater, but
You got room in the back.
you got
And
room
a
in the
top.
back. But we have a rule in India.
What's that?
And the rule is, if somebody asks you, how many people can you fit in a car? The answer is always one more.
One more. That's a good idea. I like that. We can always get one more. Come on.
So you went to India, you came to India in like 2022 or 23.
Something like that.
Yeah, you came in like,
22.
yeah, 2022.
23. 1 or 2. Okay.
One of those. You came for Christmas.
Very strange. Very different.
Tell us about your experience there,
Well-
because that's where I was from. I was born and raised in India, by the way.
India. We're in India.
Central India. I was born in the state of Maharashtra in a city called Pune. Me and my brother Paul were born there.
You and your brother ride motorcycles?
Yeah, we do.
You ever get stuck in the mud
A couple times.
in a motorcycle
I
or a
will
car?
say, well, both. I've got
my.
stuck in the motorcycle, in the mud, and in the car.
So you had to get off and walk on a motorcycle?
So I'll tell you a story. This one time, me and my buddies, so they like their Japanese like 150cc
Yeah,
bikes.
yeah,
They're
gas-
known as the RX. They're 2-strokes.
Yes.
They're known as
But
RX
you get
100.
mix those, don't you? Or they put oil in them, don't you?
Yeah, you got to mix the fuel and the oil.
That's harder. Okay.
And so these guys, they wanted to
If
go
you're
out
close
on a
by,
ride.
you might need it again. Hopefully not. You know.
So these guys wanted to go out on a ride, and I was like, okay, awesome. And I just got my X Pulse 200.
Yeah.
Which is you've seen it, right?
Yeah, yeah, very nice.
I had the.
I didn't get a
upgraded-
chance to ride it though, but I saw it.
Yeah.
I
So
did ride it. I think I did ride it.
it's like a dual sport. I'll put
Yes,
a
it
picture up.
It's
There it is.
Enduro.
It's like an enduro. Red. I named it Tomy.
Tommy?
Weird name.
Why is that, man?
I don't know why I named it Tommy.
Interesting.
I don't know. That's a
Like
great
Tommy?
question. Yeah, like Tommy, but Tommy, like a British.
Hey, somebody told you
British
something?
Tommy.
Like somebody told you something?
Oh, tell me. So, anyways, we went out for a ride and we started going up this narrow hill path to get like this hill on the side of this hill. So it was a pretty wide field that we're in. We're kind of like looking for wildlife at the same time, and we're going up this kind of like a incline, but it's on the side of a hill, and there's like a huge drop off on the left.
my.
And I was going up, and all my friends they're like, "Oh, I don't want to go up any higher. It's like really rocky."
scared?
Yeah, they were
So
scared.
you were going to be the one to go
So
try.
I was going to be the
Was this
brave
before
one.
my daughter did it? You met my daughter? Or after you
This
met
is
my daughter?
before I married.
Okay.
Married.
I'll make
Caitlin.
cake you fall off. I don't want to go.
Bobby's my father-in-law
Yeah,
too,
by the way.
by the way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Yep, we make a great combination. But anyways, they gave up halfway up, and I was like, nah, I'm going to show them. I got the suspension. I got the skills. I can do this.
I can only imagine.
So I gun it, and I go up the hill, and it gets narrow and narrow, and then I lose traction, and I start going sideways, and almost laid the bike down.
Wow.
And all my friends were like, Caleb, stop! Don't do it! And so I stopped.
I can do it. I can do it.
I stopped, but the thing about my bike is once I did the suspension upgrade,
Yeah.
I got to be on my tippy toes, and then I'm
Keep the
on
weight
rough
to
terrain, so
yeah.
now I'm like hanging off the side of the bike,
How long
and
ago
it's
did you
too
have the
tough.
suspension done before you did that?
Suspension probably like weeks before I went
See,
on
so
that.
you were kind of new to it.
I
So.
was kind of new to it.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Are you
yeah.
advertising for them up the right away?
Who?
The people in your hat.
I don't know who they are. I got this hat for $10 at a farmer's market.
I like it though. I just kind of seen that.
Thank you. Jonathan also commented on Jonathan Shep.
Yeah,
love you,
yes.
man. If you ever watch this,
Yeah.
I love you so much. You're so handsome.
You got good coffee too.
Anyways, so I got stuck up there, and now I can't turn around. I'm like stuck on the hill. It's narrow.
Yep.
I got a 200-foot drop
What'd
off
you do,
on the
man?
left.
Jump off?
So I jumped off and I tried to
Off the nail side?
no, not off
you-
the side of the hill. I get off my bike and I try to turn my
Okay.
bike, but it's so heavy. And because it's on a suspension, it's like super
Yeah.
top heavy. We went from cars to motorcycles in this conversation. Anyways,
Anyway, yeah, that's okay. Experiences.
Anyway, so my friends were coming up the hill, and then my best friend Suraj, he pulls out his camera and he starts recording me, and he literally catches a video of me slipping and almost falling until my friends caught the side of the bike and they saved.
You put
my
that
bike.
on America's Funniest Video?
I don't know, but I'll put a clip on here for you to see.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, so that was a interesting experience. But back to cars.
Yeah,
You were
yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
You like
I rode motorcycles too, by the way.
you like cars with bigger capacity, so you can take more
And big
people.
motors, yes.
Because you love experiencing
Oh, yeah.
things
Friends.
with people,
Yeah.
multiple people.
Especially when they have the money.
Yeah, I can relate to you with the people part because growing up we had the white SUV known as Tata Sumo.
Oh.
So Mr. Tata brought out that round computer mouse shaped
Yeah, yeah.
Indigo.
Made it four-wheel drive?
No, it was just a regular family putter,
Yeah.
and it got very popular.
Was it a
and
standard or automatic?
everything was standard in India, and that's what I love about cars in India is everything's manual transmission.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So grew up with manual transmission. It's just
And he
super
taught my
fun.
daughter how to do transmission too, by the way.
What's that?
He taught my daughter how to shift transmissions too.
Oh yes, I did teach his daughter how to.
It's not really
drive.
right down. I don't see it though, man.
Drive manual.
You starting to feel it? Maybe she
Yeah, I
put too
can-
much pressure in it. Just screw it up there and leave it there for a
I'm
while.
getting so excited, Bobby. This is so.
Screw it there, kind of leave it there for a while.
Screw the T-shirt up like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, why not? Yeah, yeah, just kind of hang and talk about it.
I don't know. I feel like I look like.
It'll fall out. You kind of look different, you know. You definitely have a different opinion.
I look different?
Appearance. Yeah, yeah, you do. I won't lie, but I tell you, you look like a different guy right there.
Okay, I feel like this podcast is getting too long now. We might have to break up some of the other questions into other
That's cool. We
episodes.
can do that. It's
Anyways,
the beginning anyway.
no, I just loved how you like taking your friends around because that's why I fell in love with like the big boxy SUVs.
Yeah. So you go 4-wheel drive too.
You can
though.
go
4-wheel drive.
Yeah. The Tata didn't have 4-wheel drive initially, but they did release a military version for the.
How do you get a military
the
version
Army.
of being civilian? How do you get the
You can get decommissioned ones. For
ones with a lot of miles on them, something like that? Or
maybe.
ones that got almost blown up?
Maybe, but they didn't make 4x4 for the Indian general
cool.
public. The
Okay.
Tata Sumo came in
Thanks for
two-wheel
bringing that
drive,
up.
but it was rear-wheel drive.
Cool.
Had a
Not
drive
far.
shaft. I think it was a 1.5 liter. It could have
be.
been a 2 liter. I'm not sure
1.7,
exactly.
1.8.
I'll put the
1.7, 1.8.
information of that.
Maybe not. Keep going.
Anyway, so I just love the fact that you like your car
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
purpose of
Now-
taking your friends around.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sometimes.
So now that you've shared something about something that you love about your car, what's something that you did not like about your car? Your first car.
The way it looked, I guess, all beat up on one side. But I got a lot of comments on it, so that kind of gave me character on that one.
Yeah. Did you have to take a humble pill and be like, this is what I have to live with?
No, everybody dug it.
They dug it.
Yeah, man.
So
We
it's,
were-
so it was
we
like Mater.
Oh yeah,
You like the
made
character.
We got a keg of beer, man. Went down into the park and we put it in the trunk, and everybody kind of followed us around because we had the keg of beer. Big crazy things.
So it didn't matter what your car looked like because it was full of
No,
booze.
I was, but yeah, what?
And that's what mattered. It was
what?
full of booze, and that's what
That's all, man.
The keg of beer.
You forget about the way it looks.
Forget about the way it looks. We got beer,
We got
dude. Who
music too,
cares?
loud music too, and it's reliable. So
So you were big on tailgating then?
yeah, we were.
Yeah. Now tell us why you became a mechanic. Because for those who don't know, Bobby is a mechanic. And this,
Quite a few
is
years,
kind of
yeah.
proof of his mechanical abilities. I mean, he literally rebuilt this whole truck.
That thing was in pieces. They weren't even put
Yep.
together. Yep.
So tell us about your story, your journey about becoming a mechanic. What led you to become?
Well, my dad was in cars, so I went over to Northside Ford and was working as a porter right there. That's my first job. I think I was like supposed to be 16, but I think I started at 14. And I learned a big lesson right there because I got fired from that job because I was stealing things. I said, well, I don't want to do that no more. So after that job,
Okay, wait. Before
humbled me enough that you don't do steal from people.
what did you steal?
Speakers out of a car.
You still speak? Is that the
Out of a
only thing
used
you
car.
steal?
Out of a used car, huh?
Is that the only thing you stole? Oh boy,
No,
we're getting dirty, we're getting dirty.
No, a couple other things, but
Oh.
8-track tapes,
Dang.
tires off Corvettes. Yeah, I don't think we use it too.
Wow. So when did you get caught? What did you get caught stealing?
Speakers.
The speakers, and that's when your job was terminated?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
my gosh.
There's my dad, unfortunately, so he still loved me, he said so.
Wait, so you were stealing from your dad?
No, that one my dad was working in used cars.
Oh,
so
okay.
He got me the job.
Okay, so
So you know what I got when I got home? Discipline.
Yep, I can imagine. I used to steal from my parents too.
Not my parents, I didn't say that.
Well,
From my used car.
I used to steal too.
Well,
Not-
no, I always
But I stole from my parents.
borrowed it. It's better than borrowed it. You always pay attention to give it back, I'm sure.
There's that movie called Into the Wild.
Yeah.
There's this koala bear in the movie who he takes can't remember what he takes. I think it's like a Statue of Liberty, kind of like a little plaything, like
Okay.
an action figure or whatever.
What'd you do?
And he said,
a
"I
statue?
didn't steal it. I borrowed it."
There you go.
That's what you're saying. You didn't steal
Always
it.
had the intention of giving it back, yes. The 8-track tapes that caught in my pants, and I took it out, I walked it out of Kmart. I was going to bring them back later.
Where are you now?
Yeah.
Okay.
My intentions were good.
That's awesome. So then after that, you became a mechanic?
Yeah, I kind of leaned towards cars. The only thing I knew.
Yeah.
Only thing I knew to try to do. I mean, I kind of like cars.
How did you start?
I
How
like
did you
seeing things
figure
coming
out?
in broken and coming out fixed.
Okay, so did you kind of grow up tinkering with cars? and
Not so much. I wouldn't.
figuring things out.
Not really a whole bunch of that. No, I worked at some different places, different dealerships, and kind of this has caught on to me.
You just caught on.
Yeah.
So when you think about mechanical things, was it something that came to you fairly easily?
Yeah,
Or did
yeah.
you really have to
No,
work at it?
I can usually figure out things pretty easy like that.
What's one of the first things you ever fixed?
Oh, I don't have a clue, man. Such a long time ago. A radio? I don't know. I've done all kinds of.
What's the first mechanical, let's say the biggest thing that you ever fixed? Like, wow, this proves that I'm a mechanic. You know, because for me, I'm like, I
Put
change a
spark plugs
tire.
in the car. I guess
I'm not qualified as a mechanic for changing.
Well, you know what? We didn't need tune cars and stuff. We basically got a place called Precision Tune, and we tune cars in different ways because we
Okay.
had. And so it kind of got me doing into different things like that. And then I kind of liked all that stuff. I like fixing and things.
So when you're saying tuned cars, you're not talking about plugging in a computer and
They
putting
didn't
in
have
some
that. No,
code.
we had a thing you shove up the exhaust pipe, you check the CO on it,
Okay.
you adjust the carburetor out of that, and the timing.
So you worked for a company that did that.
Yes.
And so you learned a lot from them.
Yep, yeah, a little bit.
So then when did you go on your own and open up your own?
We had a big flood.
Mechanic
Okay,
shop.
so I went fishing with my friend Mark. 1998, I think it was, and there a big flood in San Antonio. We went fishing down in the cut, and so we went down there and got all of a sudden. Before that, I told my boss I was going on vacation. He said, "No, you're not." I said, "Oh, see ya." I took off anyway. And so Mark said, "Bobby, you got to start your own job." I said, "Own business." Okay, so he was a car dealer, and so that's how we did it.
So you worked with your friend.
Yeah, actually, I did a lot of used car lots, and then I got word got around to people, and I started going in and fixing people's cars at their
You
house.
organically kind of started this journey of becoming a mechanic.
Yeah, I
It
didn't
wasn't
have
like this, like, I'm going to go to school.
No, I had no plan.
So you're totally
No plan.
self-taught.
Yeah. Well, most of the other thing, I went to Alpha Romeo
That's
School.
incredible.
Things like
You
that.
didn't even have YouTube back then.
No, that was difficult.
For me, everything, like, if I'm, whatever I'm working on, if I get stuck, I'll just YouTube, how do you
I
do
only
this?
wish we had that, man.
I don't know how you got
And
through
maps
life
too,
without
man.
YouTube.
And maps.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine not having YouTube University or Google Maps, dude.
Yeah, it was. It's,
I don't know if I know how to read a map, but that's a different topic for another time.
Yep.
So you were inspired by your friend while you went on vacation to
Opened my own business. Yeah.
open your own
Got a
business.
DBA and went it on.
Okay.
Yeah. So and I was kind of. Kathy said, "Go for it." She said, "You can do it. You can do it." So I went out there and tried.
Wow. So, okay, what was it like opening? What are some of the challenges you
Challenging,
faced?
man. Well, getting overbooked.
Overbooked,
So,
okay.
Because I was mobile and I had to go, do the job. So I had to kind of troubleshoot the thing on the phone and hit my parts, make sure my parts are there on time, and then hopefully my troubleshooting right. So if I get there and I troubleshoot something else, I had to get that my parts sent to me.
Were you
And so
using
that-
a Palm Pilot?
No, I didn't have those yet.
Oh, okay. You
I didn't
said
have
Palm.
those yet. It's all on the phone call. So
Okay.
and knowledge. I mean, so I went there and I would say I'd make all these appointments. Well, shoot, man, I wouldn't be able to make a couple. Well, then I got overbooked so much I felt like they didn't want to answer the phone. Man, I said, "Oh, goodness gracious!" But I kept up most of the time.
Okay.
If everything goes smooth, yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah.
Because my parts were delivered wherever I needed to, and I got a piece of cake.
That's awesome, man. Did you enjoy the work, or did you find it
I enjoyed
overwhelming?
it. I enjoyed it. I do it a lot
awesome,
yeah,
man.
because being out there on your own and making what you want to make is different. Just so it's different.
Absolutely. Well, I think we'll wrap it up there for this time. I think we're probably well
good.
past 20 minutes at this point.
Maybe you're not. Yeah.
So,
edits.
every podcast, for every episode of the podcast, we kind of want to have a segment where Bobby shares a tip of the day. Let's move into that right now. Bobby, what's your tip for today?
Let's say battery, car battery, 12 volts, the thing to start your car up. So you buy a battery, they all say maintenance free, but they're really not maintenance free. The vents will come off and you can add distilled water to them. They say maintenance free because they want them to go out at a certain time and then wear it, especially in Texas because the heat boils the water out.
Okay, so you're saying they're lying to us.
That's right.
They're saying that
They want
it's maintenance free. You don't
It
got to
is
do
not
anything.
maintenance free.
You throw it in your car.
Thinking it's all done and good go.
You just
Nah.
use it until it dies, and there's nothing
another
else
one.
involved.
That's right.
But you're saying
There is maintenance
there's a
involved.
tip.
There is maintenance involved.
So the tip is to fill
Yeah.
it with distilled water.
Yeah, pop those caps off and put distilled water in it.
Pop the caps off and put distilled water. in
overfill
your
it.
battery.
You wanna get
okay,
that-
so how often do you have to do this? What's an
Well-
indicator that it's time?
Well,
to
I
refill
got the same issue for my truck battery, so I check it. You try to check it every 6 months.
Okay.
It gets heat, and stuff, and makes the batteries last longer.
Okay, so you're saying that the heat evaporates the
And the
water
char-
in the battery,
the
so when the
charging.
water gets low,
When the water gets low, that's when you got to check it. Because
when
what
you-
happens, you can usually tell the amperage changes on it, so it changes the amperage.
okay, so the recommendation then is to check every 6 months,
When-
especially
yeah.
for the Texas folk,
Yeah, that's a
because
fact.
of the sun and the heat here can evaporate the distilled water within your
And you
battery.
can get stranded
You could get stranded.
when you're busiest.
You don't want to get stranded
When you're busiest.
because who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters. You never can say that.
I knew you were going to say that.
Good, man.
All right, guys, that was the tip. That was the tip of the episode for you, tip of the day. So remember, every 6 months, check your battery
And your
Check
tire pressure, yeah.
Your you got to save that for a different episode.
I want that
I'm gonna
kind of reminder. So two things. Two things you gotta do.
Two things. Check your battery
Anytime.
periodically, preferably every 6 months. And if it's low on
Or when it
water,
won't start, you can do that too.
yeah. A great indicator of your battery not working is your vehicle not starting.
So just check it then too.
So check it, fill it if it's low.
Even water works, you have to.
Make sure your terminals are clean, right?
Yes, absolutely.
That can also affect your car starting up.
Starting, you can get stranded. When you least expect it. When you have to put the kids at the daycare before you get paid a late fee.
All right. Thanks for tuning in to today's podcast. We had such a blast recording it. It was such a spur of the moment thing, but getting to have conversation with each other, talking about our love for cars and any kind of motorized vehicle has been super fun. So if you like this kind of content, if you like Bobby, if you like me, just follow us, follow this podcast and stay engaged. And thank you once again for tuning in. And we love y'all. God bless.